Let me tell you something you absolutely need to hear right now. The ground beneath the global financial landscape is shifting in a way we haven't seen in generations, and if you are not paying razor-sharp attention to what is unfolding with the Iraqi dinar at this very moment, you risk missing out on the single greatest wealth transfer event of our lifetimes. This is not a drill, this is not another baseless rumor circulating on the forums, and this is certainly not the kind of speculative hope we have been holding on to for years. What we are witnessing today, confirmed through multiple high-level Forex channels and by sources with direct access to the inner sanctums of international monetary policy, is the active, verifiable, and systematic cashing in of dinar holdings by individuals who are now, as we speak, becoming millionaires. Think about that for a second. While the majority of the world is asleep, while the mainstream media is preoccupied with the usual market fluctuations, a silent but seismic event is taking place, where certificates of deposit are being issued, wire transfers are being processed, and bank accounts are being credited with sums of money that most people cannot even fathom. The confirmation we have been desperately searching for is no longer a matter of if, but a resounding, undeniable when, and that when is now. The gates have been opened, not with a loud bang, but with the deliberate and calculated silence of international bankers who are following a protocol designed to prevent economic chaos. This is the reason you have been seeing a sudden, inexplicable surge in videos and posts from individuals claiming their lives have changed overnight. These are not fabrications. These are the early birds, the ones who positioned themselves correctly, who held on through the years of doubt and skepticism, and who are now being rewarded in a manner that is nothing short of biblical. The key to understanding this moment is to recognize that the revaluation is not a single, spectacular event that will be announced on global news networks. It is a process, a carefully managed financial operation that begins with the largest holders and trickles down, and we are currently in that beginning phase. The liquidity is being injected into the system in a controlled manner to avoid a catastrophic shock to the new rate, which is precisely why you are not seeing it on the front page of every newspaper. The institutions involved have a vested interest in a smooth transition, and part of that smooth transition involves a period of quiet, confirmed payouts to stabilize the new currency's position on the Forex market before it becomes accessible to the general public on a mass scale. This is the crucial window of opportunity, the fleeting moment in time where those in the know can still act with a significant informational advantage. The intelligence we have gathered points directly to a coordinated international agreement, one that has been in secret negotiation for months, finally coming to fruition in this fiscal year of 2025, a year that was long predicted by many top economic forecasters to be a pivotal turning point for global currency resets. The evidence is in the movement of assets, the quiet amendments to international banking laws, and the sudden, unified stance of key economic powers on the status of Iraq's monetary sovereignty. They are not just preparing for a revaluation, they are actively managing its rollout. So, what does this mean for you, sitting there watching this video? It means that every second of hesitation, every moment you spend questioning whether this is real, is a moment you are losing against the people who are already executing their financial strategies. This is your call to action. This is your wake-up call. Do not just listen to my words and move on with your day. Your immediate mission, right after this video, is to verify everything I am saying. Go to your primary financial advisor, the one you trust with your most critical assets, and present them with the specific codes and protocols related to the international asset redemption process. Do not take no for an answer from a frontline bank teller who has no clearance for this level of information. You must escalate this to the highest level of private banking available to you. The process has been confirmed, and the millionaires are being created as we speak. The only question that remains is whether you will be among them. Now, you might be asking yourself how this is even possible, how a currency that has been dormant for so long can suddenly activate with such immense, life-altering force. And the answer lies not in a single event but in a perfect storm of geopolitical and economic factors that have converged right now, in 2025, to create an unstoppable momentum for the Iraqi dinar. The foundation for this revaluation was never just about the value of the dinar itself, it was about the complete restructuring of Iraq as a sovereign nation, and that project has now reached its final, critical stage of completion. For decades, the nation was shackled by the burdens of conflict, international sanctions, and a political system in its infancy, but what we have witnessed over the past few years is a silent, methodical rebuilding of an economic powerhouse. The key to unlocking the dinar's true, intrinsic value was always Chapter VII of the UN Charter, and its final lifting last year was the legal trigger that severed the last chains holding the currency down, allowing Iraq to operate as a fully independent and respected member of the global financial community. This was the non-negotiable prerequisite, the green light that the international banking community was waiting for, and once it was given, the machinery of monetary reform began to move with a speed and precision that has caught many off guard. But the legal freedom was only one piece of the puzzle. The real engine of this revaluation is the monumental, almost unimaginable wealth that lies beneath Iraqi soil. We are not just talking about oil, although their proven reserves place them firmly among the top global producers. We are talking about a vast, largely untapped treasure of other natural resources, including massive quantities of phosphates, sulfur, and gold, resources that the global economy, especially in the realm of technology and green energy, desperately needs. The economic framework for this new Iraq, what they are calling the Development Road Project, is a multi-trillion-dollar infrastructure endeavor that will transform the nation into a global trade and logistics hub, connecting the East to the West in a way that hasn't been seen since the Silk Road, and a strong, internationally traded currency is the absolute bedrock upon which this entire project is built. You cannot attract trillions in foreign direct investment with a weak, localized currency. You need a stable, strong medium of exchange that global institutions and sovereign wealth funds can have confidence in, and that is the fundamental economic reality that is forcing this revaluation to happen now. The timing is not an accident. It is a direct result of project deadlines, investment covenants, and international agreements that are all coming due in this fiscal cycle. The confirmation of Millionaires cashing in is the first visible proof that this financial bedrock is now being poured. The liquidity you are seeing enter the system is not a gift. It is a strategic necessity to fund the initial phases of construction, to pay international contractors, and to establish the dinar's credibility on the forex market before it becomes the primary currency for the largest development project in modern human history. This is why the process is being managed with such secrecy and precision. A single misstep, a leak that causes a global rush, could destabilize the entire meticulously planned economic transition. The people cashing in right now are not just lucky speculators. They are the essential first wave of liquidity providers, the ones who are providing the initial capital foundation that will support the entire new financial structure of the nation. Their success is a direct indicator of the project's viability and a signal that the next, much larger wave of financial activity is imminent. This is no longer a currency play. It is a nation-state rebuilding itself from the ground up, and your dinar holdings are your stake in that rebirth. The information is now in your hands, and the responsibility to act is yours alone. Do not let the sheer scale of this event paralyze you into inaction. The window to position yourself correctly is still open, but it is closing faster than anyone realizes. So, where does all of this leave you, the individual holder, the person who has shown immense patience and faith in the face of overwhelming skepticism? It leaves you at the most critical juncture of your entire financial life, standing at the precipice of a decision that will define your future and the future of your family for generations to come. The confirmed cash-ins are the proof of concept, the geopolitical and economic foundations are laid in stone, and the machinery of global finance is now undeniably in motion, which means the only variable left in this entire equation, the only factor that determines whether you become a mere spectator or an active participant in this historic wealth transfer, is you. Your actions in the next 24 to 48 hours are what everything has been leading up to. This is the moment where knowledge must transform into decisive, unwavering action. The process of exchanging your dinar is not the same as walking into a local bank branch to exchange $100 for euros. This is a high-level financial transaction that requires a specific and deliberate protocol. You must understand that the teller at your local branch, while well-meaning, is not trained for this event and likely has no knowledge of the activated international codes. Your first and most critical step is to immediately schedule a private, confidential appointment with the manager of your bank, specifically the branch manager or, ideally, a private banking or wealth management officer. You must walk into that meeting not with hopeful questions, but with confident statements. You are not there to ask if they can process the international currency exchange for the Iraqi dinar. You are there to inform them that you need to initiate the process, and you require their assistance in accessing the correct SWIFT codes and authentication protocols that have been activated for this specific purpose. Present your documentation, your currency holding certificates, your passport, your identification, with the absolute confidence of someone who knows they are on the right side of history. If you are met with hesitation or a lack of knowledge, your response is not to leave dejected. It is to politely but firmly request that they escalate your inquiry to their regional headquarters or international banking department, because the information and the authority to process these transactions exist within the bank system, even if it has not yet been disseminated to every single employee. This is the level of assertiveness and personal responsibility that this moment demands. The early millionaires did not become wealthy by waiting for an invitation. They became wealthy by proactively engaging the system with undeniable proof and an unshakable belief in their position. You have waited for a decade or more for this single, fleeting opportunity. Do not let it slip through your fingers now because of a moment of social discomfort or a fear of being assertive. The final, most profound call to action I can give you is this: your journey does not end when the funds hit your account. True, generational wealth is not about the number in your bank statement. It is about the wisdom you wield to protect it, grow it, and use it for a purpose that transcends your own life. The moment your exchange is complete, your very first call should not be to a car dealership or a real estate agent. It must be to a team of elite, vetted financial planners, estate attorneys, and tax strategists who specialize in working with sudden, high-net-worth individuals. You must build a fortress around your wealth before you even think about enjoying it. This is not just advice. This is your solemn responsibility. You have been given a key to a door that remains locked for most of the world. What you do on the other side of that door will be your legacy. The information is confirmed. The path is clear. The millionaires are being made. The only question that remains, the only one that truly matters, is this: will you be one of them? The time for watching is over. The time for action is now.